Hi, this is Roger. Thanks for dropping by. Bet you're getting fed up with hearing about the lights. I made some adjustments yesterday and I'm a lot happier. This looks a lot flatter now, so it's going to get more even light. The same up here, yeah. It's a much flatter affair. This Hercoglossam's still a bit close to the light, but it's not close enough to damage it. Given the light level at 1 metre, and that's still over a metre away from the light, so that's okay. And that's going to carry on growing through the winter, so it's not going to hurt it. But what I did do was lower this light down. So that one's up near the top. The reason being, the beam that comes out, a little bit of that light's beam is wasted because it's on the roof. But I don't want it down in that area. I really don't want those plants lit up. They are low light plants anyway. But by lowering this one down and twisting it slightly and getting an angle on it, the top of the beam now is up there, so none of it's wasted, and the light is getting to the back of those shelves. So I'm much happier with the way the lights are working now. Everything you do has consequences. Now the fogger that's lived up here all through the heat wave and the summer months, I haven't been able to use RO water in the foggers because I would just get through it too fast. They were needing to be filled up every day, and there were 3 of them on the go in that period. This type take 5 litres, so that's 10 litres a day just for these 2 foggers every single day through a period of 3 months. I also had that additional one that took about 3 litres that was needing filling up. I wouldn't be able to produce the RO water and water the plants and keep the foggers going, so I switched to filtered water. So that's tap water that goes through a Brita filter, carbon filter, and it takes a fair bit of the nasties out of the water, but it still leaves it with a TDS of about 150. So there's still calcium in that water basically, and this is the consequences. It's only affected some plants. I won't say all the plants, but it's mainly the plants in this area on the grounds that when the foggers are on, the fans were on. So the fog was coming out and getting blown back across this area. So it was in quite a concentrated form for this top shelf of Cattleyas and drifting down onto these. Now obviously a deposit like that is going to stop light getting to the plant. Now with Cattleyas, bits on the top of the leaves is not quite as bad as it sounds because their breathing holes tend to be concentrated on the undersides of the leaves. But nonetheless, I've just got some RO water and some cotton wool pads, and left-handed. Hang on, let me switch hands. I can't do stuff left-handed. Now I've got a wet hand. Right. Camera in the left hand, that'll wobble all over the place. And it should just be a matter of just wiping these off. Now if you've got calcium deposits on plants, a little bit of lemon juice in the water can help cut through. But nonetheless, just ordinary water will do it. It doesn't need to be anything other than that. And it's just a matter of wiping them clean, really. Now I wouldn't normally get my plants wet, but I know we're going to get a sunny day today and the old heat's going to build up and therefore the fans will be on, so these leaves aren't going to stay wet for long. And obviously I'll get through this an awful lot quicker with 2 hands. But it does need to be done. There's a film on these leaves that's stopping light getting in. And also it's slightly sticky, so it would also collect dust, which again is not ideal. So the most tedious job in the world, some would say therapeutic, I just say tedious. But basically it's Holy Clay Pots watering day today, and most of the ones that are affected are in Holy Clay Pots. So as I get each one down to water, I'll give the leaves a bit of a clean up. And it just freshens up the surface of the leaves, allows the light to get in and allows them to photosynthesize to their maximum ability given the light they're going to get, which is good. That's providing food for the plants. The other method of getting food that we often forget. We worry all the time about what goes in at the bottom of the pot and forget that the plant is almost self-sufficient by what it produces through photosynthesis. That's how a lot of plants can survive a while with no roots. The thing they do lose is hydration, obviously, because the process does move the hydration up through the plant and then out through the leaves, so they will dehydrate. But they can still produce the sugars and things that allow a lot of the functions in the plant to work. So it's quite important to keep your leaves clean. Now on thick fleshy Cattleya leaves there's no worries, but if you start trying to clean leaves like this on very thin leaf plants like some of the oncidiums and things like that, it's very easy to damage the leaves. You need to get your hand underneath and support the leaf as you wipe it, because if you don't, you're liable to bend it and then you can produce a crack line, and then the end of the leaf will die back. So if you're going to do it, you need to be careful, but I do need to do it on some of my plants. I've noticed recently that they have got a film on them, and it's just by not using clean water in the the foggers. Whatever water you put in these foggers, the ultrasonic mechanism produces a mist. Well, whatever you put in comes out the top. It's as simple as that. It doesn't suddenly magically disappear and produce pure mist out of the top. It's whatever you put in comes out the top. And certainly from now on, this fogger, which will be the only one that remains through the winter, will only have RO water in it. So it'll be clean mist that comes out of the top, pure mist. And it will do the plants far more good to have that clean water around. I've had a look around the rest of the place, and this only really, it hasn't affected this area. So this fogger, obviously the mist got dispersed to such an extent. I mean, these leaves are clean. And these plants have been up here some time. So that one hasn't, that was over there. But they're okay. So I haven't got to clean every leaf in the place, because that just wouldn't happen. I'm going to get fed up just doing the few Cattleyas that I've got to do. But yeah, keeping your leaves clean is quite important. It's a matter of the easiest way to keep them clean is don't get them dirty in the first place. But anywhere where you've got fans going and things like that, you're liable to get some dust. So you are going to get dusty leaves over a period of time. Now, my plants have had a couple of good soakings during the year. They've had a couple of insecticide sprays where the whole plant is absolutely soaking wet. And so that washes dust off. Obviously it probably leaves a bit of residual insecticide on the leaves, but it doesn't show. If it does leave it behind, it doesn't show. The leaves look okay, so that's good. And back in the heat wave, they also got the sprayer on them now and again. I mean, I try and keep my plants dry, but in that heat, the foggers weren't able to keep up. So going round and absolutely soaking the plants, with just clean water on the leaves and everything, helps keep them cooler for a bit, and does give them a wash off. But anyway, leaf cleaning day today, the most tedious job I can imagine. But it does need to be done. We're coming to the lower light levels, and I know I've got artificial lighting this winter, but I'm still reliant on natural light for a large part of the day. So the more light that can get into the leaves, the better, certainly through our winter period anyway. So tedious job today, but got to be done. See you next time.